So Ebola has entered the country as if it's a thing, right? I mean, at Fox News all day long. Ebola is here. Ebola is here. But wait till you get a little of the first clip here. Let's try to guess whose fault it is.
Why did Obama let the Ebola virus into the United States? Well, Britain and France is on board. Do you believe that we should be allowing flights from Africa into the United States from the two countries most affected? I believe our leaders' first and foremost obligation is to protect the security of our country. First and foremost. Why does that seem so difficult for these people to do? Imagine if you're in that hospital in Dallas. Imagine you're being treated. Maybe you're an elderly person, a child, and you're going to look at those family members and say, oh, no worries.
Yeah, unless those family members are making out with the patients, that's exactly what I would tell them. It's not airborne. It's not in the air, okay? You have to exchange bodily fluids. Are your family members having sex with that patient while he's got Ebola? Well, then I would be concerned, right? But look at these guys, man. Why did Obama let Ebola into the country? Why didn't he just ban all of Africa? Good questions. More brilliant questions coming up from Fox News. They unbelievably had the CDC director, Dr. Tim Friedman. Why would any doctor, let alone the CDC director, go on Fox News to get subjugated to this?
I know I saw your press conference yesterday. I know you say the public does not need to worry about it, but I got to tell you something. My daughter works in the building directly across the street from the hospital, and I talked to her last night. She's a little freaked out.
I understand that people are scared. It's a scary disease, but she's not a contact. Let's go back and look at the plain truth of how Ebola spreads. It only spreads from someone who's sick and only spreads from direct contact with the person or their body fluids.
Is your daughter sleeping with the patients? I mean, but the thing is, it's a funny thing about Fox is facts are irrelevant, so they're like, but we're panicked anyway. I understand what you're saying, but what we sell here is fear. Now, they're going to take it to an unbelievable level in the next question. Watch this.
And this is a political thing, but you're part of the administration. They feel that the administration has misled a lot of people on a lot of things. Why should we believe you when you're telling us this stuff?
Well, our approach at CDC is always to tell people more rather than less. We're going to tell you what happens, when it happens. When we don't know something, we'll tell you that as well. We level with people because that's the most important way, and that's the most effective way to get the information across and to get people to understand what we need to do.
Why should we believe you when you tell us about a virus? They're scientists, they're doctors, they're not gonna lie to you about it. Oh, watch this. We'll fuck with the Fox and Friends guys. Oh, no, dude, it's not airborne. Yep. You're totally gonna get Ebola. It's gonna be hilarious. But you see, the reason he'd even ask such an absurd question is because their frame of mind is, well, we lie to people all the time and we substitute our propaganda for facts. We do it. We tell you, in fact, we're doing it now. We're scaring the living crap out of everybody, saying Obama let Ebola into the country and that you should all panic and be incredibly afraid of that, even though it doesn't meet the facts on the ground. So we do it. So that's why I'm asking you, would you play with the facts if, for political reasons? The guy's like, I run the CDC. Are you insane? That's what he should have said. He should have Reza Aslan'd him. He was way too calm in giving that answer. Come on, dude. Obama says the sky is blue. But, he's played with a lot of the facts before. Are you sure the sky is blue? Okay, now, we're not done yet. More Fox and Friends. This time, Elizabeth Hasselbeck. They're going to talk to infectious disease specialist Delilah Resripo. Now, they're going to ask her over and over again about, are you sure we shouldn't be living in a constant state of fear? Watch.
How contagious is it in your mind? And we heard you have to be in close contact, but now it's here in the United States. Right. The conversation's ramped up.
Right. So Ebola is not as contagious. It's a very infectious virus, but it's not as contagious. You can't catch Ebola from food, from talking to someone, from coughing. You really have to have contact with bodily fluids. So that puts a little bit of extra barrier. The other issue is that the infectious time of it is when you develop symptoms.
How concerned are you about the people that he may or may not have been in contact with? There seems to be a laissez-faire attitude about that, and I'm wondering if they're just trying not to panic us or them.
The minute you develop a fever, that's when the infectious part develops and begins. So they will have to be monitored for 21 days during the period of incubation.
What about those that are on the plane with him, though? I mean, no follow-up, just to be safe, like better to be safe than sorry? No 8 to 10 day follow-up with anyone who was on a plane. That's close enough contact for some.
They were asymptomatic during the plane ride, so there really is no risk during that plane ride this time.
Now, all the people in that emergency room, he had the symptoms right then. Shouldn't those people be monitored?
They will be. Absolutely. That's part of the investigation, and it should be.
But what about the guy who was on a bicycle who saw him once? And what about the guy who was on a train who never even saw him? But still, how about that guy? Okay. How many times does she have to answer it? Apparently one more time.
You have a very calm tone. I think it must come with by nature with what you do professionally, doctor. But I think the rest of us are saying, wait a minute, there's a lot of panic when it comes to flu, to lice. You know, as a parent, I'm thinking, well, there should be a little bit of a justification for worry here. Am I wrong?
The viruses behave a little bit different, and flu virus is something that's contagious through the air, through droplet. It's a little bit easier. This carries another layer because it requires bodily fluids.
But it's here.
It is here, but we're not in the same infrastructure as other areas where this has taken off.
But it's here. It's here. Obama let Ebola into the country. Don't you understand? We need to panic. How many times does she have to answer it? You know, they asked her one more time, and here was her final response.
Do you understand the words that are coming out of my mouth?
It is not airborne. You have to exchange bodily fluids. Have you exchanged bodily fluids with a Liberian man recently? Okay. If you have, then maybe you should be concerned, especially if he's an Ebola patient. If not, shut up already.